welcome back to Comics. I'll be the host today. I'm Andres. And today we have the full cast. Sorry, I was gone last week. But who is joining us today? Our full cast, who I just repeated that we're going to have a full cast. Somebody start talking because I'm talking too much.
Hi, guys. I'm Carmen.
Hey, I'm Ash.
What's going on, everybody? It's Esteban.
Luis is here too.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Luis here too. So this week, Carmen, you have the drink, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. What are you having tonight?
I am having, and I don't know if you probably have featured this already. It's a Fundamental Forces beer. It is the Imperial Vanilla Stout from the brewery Bottle Logic. As we have mentioned this brewery several times, they make really good beers, really delicious stouts. I'm a stout drinker. So this one is by far, I mean, they're all favorites. So like me saying that it's by far one of my favorites is not really going to make a difference to all the other ones, but it's pretty up there. So I don't think that you can go wrong. This one, unfortunately, was a limited release bottle, so it's no longer available, but there always different ones that they come up with through the year for different seasons or featuring different ingredients or other brewery collaborations. So follow them on Instagram. They have great drinks, great stuff. They also do have this emo thing coming up this weekend. Oh, which there won't be a point because you will listen to this on Monday, but sorry about it. But they have beers releasing for that that are themed. So check them out on Instagram and see if anything interests you. And so cheers, guys.
Cheers. And to piggyback on what Carmen said, yes, I did feature this beer a while back. Esteban posted the video on our TikTok and Instagram, so you could hear my opinions on it. And to echo what Carmen said, it is one of my favorite stouts of theirs. And they do wonderful stouts. So it definitely, if you're in the Southern California area, I don't know what that man's doing. If you're in the Southern California area,
dog.
Enjoy beer. Oh, the dog dying. Sorry, that's my neighbor.
He's just choking.
I'm sorry, that's my neighbor's dog. I apologize.
It's a backyard wrestling match. I'm sorry, please continue.
Yeah, so moving on. In lieu of comments this week, since we had none, our comics army failed us today. So you're all demoted back to privates. Fuck all of you.
Just one day.
One time they fail.
And
Fuck
there will
you.
be a cut in your pay. We don't
Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens.
I have a couple of reviews that I owe, so I'm going to be doing it. My review from like 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago maybe, that I owe Luis was for Righteous Gemstones. And I have been putting a lot of hours into it. I got into the second season, 3rd episode, and I actually enjoy it very, very much. It is over the top and funny. I love everybody in the show. I gave my review last week, did I?
Yep.
Yes.
Was it red?
Yes.
Son of a bitch, ignore that. And for this week, though, Miss Carmen had a rough time giving me something, but she finally landed on Fleabag that I have not seen. See, I rated a 7, but it's hard for me to watch because I don't handle cringeworthy stuff a lot, and there is a lot of cringeworthiness in that episode or in the series in general. It is funny. There's a lot of outrageous moments. The acting is good. It is over the top like Righteous Gemstones, but in a different manner. And it is a British comedy, so it's a little dry, humory at points. But I enjoyed it. I would give it a 7. I will keep watching after I'm done with Righteous Gemstones. And then I will finally get into Book of Boba Fett, which I'm going to be silent at the end of it. Yes, I know you could ruin it. I don't care. So since I'm the host, I do the recommendation, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I I have a recommendation for Esteban, but I have a feeling he may have seen this. So I'm going to probably have to pass it on to somebody else. So Esteban, have you seen Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut, not the standard version, the director's cut?
I have not seen the director's cut.
But you've
So,
seen the original?
I've seen the original, but I've only seen it once.
Once?
And it was in the theaters.
Wowzers, so this is like almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, so this would be a good refresher for the director's
Okay,
cut.
I'll go ahead and give it to you then.
Okay.
So the director's cut, you have to pay for it. So I will Venmo you $5. It's on Amazon. And be specific and get the director's cut.
Okay.
It is a big difference over the original film because I very much enjoyed the original cinematic release of the film. It is a good movie with Orlando Bloom. It's kind of Crusader times in Jerusalem. It isn't a factual story, so take that with a grain of thought. But it is a good like medieval knights action movie. Orlando Bloom is the main character. The director's cut is so much better than the original one. You get to see more Edward Norton as a character, which in the original you see him very limitedly. If you just want to watch for like the story wise, like it's pretty dope. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. So have at it and let me know what you think.
But the one where on the cover, he looks like he's in mid action, like he's
exactly. Yeah, where he's like swinging the sword, and that's the
director's cut. All right, cool.
On Amazon Prime. So I looked it up. I verified that it was there. So it's $3.99 or $4.99. I'll send you the money. Don't worry about it.
You don't have to send me money. I got it. Don't worry about it.
I hope you enjoy.
I will.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show now. First topic's going to be there was news this week that Futurama is being set to be revived on Hulu. Now the majority of the cast is joining the show except for the voice of Bender, which is voice actor John DiMaggio. He is, as of now, the only character that's not set to return, and there has been very harsh feelings with the fans of the show that are planning to boycott, since Bender was a very popular character in the show. What are you guys' thoughts on Hulu moving forward without having the voice of Bender, and your thoughts on Futurama in general? Esteban.
I'm all for it. I mean, I did watch Futurama. I watched the first couple seasons. Then I kind of dropped off on it. I know who you're talking about, John DiMaggio. He's an amazing voice actor. Does a lot of cartoons and did a lot of video games as well. If you guys played Gears of War, he was the main voice actor. Was Marcus Phoenix. So that's where I kind of know him more, is from Gears of War. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt the show, to be quite honest. Yeah, Bender was the comic relief a lot of the times, but a lot of the other characters, a lot of the other voice actors brought their A game. I honestly don't think it's going to hurt the show. It's quite possible that they could get another voice actor that sounds just like him or relatively sounds like Bender, so I mean, I'm willing to rewatch Futurama and just to kind of like follow it and see where it goes from there.
Ash, what are your thoughts?
I'm like Esteban, like where I fell off. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't diehard like I was for The Simpsons. I don't know. The story was just kind of like, it wasn't. I don't know. I don't want to say realistic, but it just wasn't my thing. But I mean, there was a lot of. My friend Ken was into it, and I would watch those specific episodes to take my money, and like those specific episodes, but never I wouldn't just watch it. Like even if it was on it, not like South Park, I could just watch whenever. But anyway, but fuck, if that person that took over for Mark Hamill could do fucking Joker just like Mark Hamill, then there's somebody that could do Bender. So, I mean, sucks, but I mean, I don't know. Either people want to move on, or maybe he has something else, or whatever the situation is. Like, it's still going to be that character because it's the writers that are going to make his jokes, not the voice actor.
Luis, your thoughts?
I loved the show. I saw from the beginning all the way to the end. That was one of those folks that when it got off the air, Adult Swim kept playing the reruns, and I kept watching the reruns. So I have a lot of these episodes in memory. So when Comedy Central bought it, here's the thing that I don't understand: the last season was a true ending to the show. It ended like the very last season is essentially everyone dies and they make it to the end of the universe, and because the whole show, it's a love story between Leela and Fry, or like an on and off again love story, kind of like How I Met Your Mother, how the true love story was between Robin and
Barney.
Yeah. Wait, no, not Barney. What's his face? The main guy. What's his name?
Oh, Ted.
Ted.
Yeah.
How that was like the actual love story, whatever that he was telling. Anyway, at the very end, they make it to the end of the universe and they make a decision to start over. And they start over, and then they look at each other, and they're already old and gray. They lived a very happy life together, and they make the decision to save everyone. Let's do it all over again. And it picks up right on episode 1. Like the very last episode goes back to episode 1, but them knowing everything they now know, and they're still together, and they just get to live their life together again. So it was like very romantic, cutesy, whatever, punching in the gut, hitting feels. And so for them to continue it, it's like that's the part that I'm kind of like left out of. I'm like, they already put a bow on it. Like, why do we want to touch that? Like, is it like offshoots? Is it a reboot? I don't know.
Was there even an uproar to bring it back?
No, that's the thing. It was the uproar is when Comedy Central bought it, because Fox canceled it, and then it was really big on Adult Swim. They petitioned it, similar to the whole Family Guy thing, where Fox got them back, and then when that caught steam, the fans started hitting Fox for Futurama, and they are like, "No, we're not buying that one back." But then Comedy Central stepped in, and very similar to the Fresh Prince, the first episode on Comedy Central, like it shows them going into a portal, and they're like, "Oh, we're back, but it feels different." And then it goes to the old professor. It has like a Comedy Central feel in this universe. Like it was just they were very like forward with it, and
Right.
So but then they went on for 3 seasons and 2 feature films, and it ended. And it was a great ending. So although I'm very happy and I have a lot of love for the show, it's strange that it's getting picked up again.
Yeah.
For Hulu, and Hulu of all places, because I know Matt Groening,
It's Fox.
It's Fox.
Yeah, and it's Disney's offshoot of Fox. So
Got it. Huh? Because I know Matt Groening had that contract with Netflix, and they did Enchanted. So I would.
Oh, Disenchantment. Yeah.
That one. And anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
Did you watch that one?
I saw the first season. Yeah.
Like me?
It's cute. It's it would be on. I'd be on my phone. It wasn't one that I was like slapping my knee. It was okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now I'll give my opinion. I don't watch too much animation. I don't know. This obviously doesn't count too much as like animation, I guess. But I actually really, really love Futurama. I think it's like it doesn't get enough of its credit. Like I know you both stopped watching it, but there are some really poignant, touching moments in that show. The episode with Fry's dog is like devastating.
Jurassic Park.
So there's some like really incredible moments. So I'm kind of like, I agree with what you said, Luis, about it being a perfect ending, and it's kind of weird that they're bringing it back. but I'm interested in the direction it's going. Matt Groening himself is bringing it back, but to the controversy of Bender not being in, if you like watch the series, like Bender is probably the most standout character in it, just because he always had like the funniest, like outrageous quips or like storyline or whatever was going on. So the fact that they're not going to bring, I know for you guys, it's like, yeah, they could just throw somebody else in there, but the essence of, I guess, Bender, yeah, you could have somebody else doing a similar voice to it, but it seems like the voice actor John DiMaggio like really went all out for Bender. Like he is like fucking Bender. So it's gonna be weird to hear a somewhat different pitch voice if they're gonna do something similar, or if they just write into the storyline where it's like, oh, he's got a different voice transponder because he's a fucking robot.
I can see that too.
It's kind of lame and it'll take away from it in my eyes. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to all wait and see. Awesome. All right, moving on. So we also did get news this week from, I think there was an interview on a YouTube with the original writers from the X-Men Fox animated series. And it's going forward that we are getting X-Men 97, which is going to be it's going to take off directly at the end of the original series. So it's going to be right after the next episode. We're going right into it. So it's going to be basically a continuation moving on. We did get news that it's supposed to come out in a year and a half. Or mid next year, they said, not a year and a half. So we're going to see it fairly soon, and it's supposed to have 10 episodes. So it's set. They're working on it. So we are going to get this. For you all, how does that make you feel? Are you now as late 30s, some of us, early 40s, a couple of us? How do you guys feel about something that's probably important for us growing up? Carmen?
Oh, geez. Okay. So this is one cartoon that I will disappoint probably most of you because I did not watch. But I will give the opinion that I had when you guys first told me about the Batman cartoon series as well, because I hadn't watched that, and I actually committed and watched it, and it gave me a really good background on Batman as a character. And so, like, not that I didn't have a background already, but it just explained better, and also like the villains and just like different people that show up on the show. So I have a feeling that if I were to start watching the X-Men cartoon show, it would probably have the same service for me. And again, I don't mind watching animation, so it's fine, and I'm pretty sure that I'll find it entertaining. And probably by the time I get caught up, the new release will happen. So I look forward to watching it.
Awesome. Luis?
I'm looking forward to it. I've been meaning to rewatch X-Men, and I haven't. I just remember it from my youth, and I remember liking it in my youth. But I think it was a couple episodes ago, Ash was saying how the theming of the episodes didn't age well. And that certain characters are just like very whiny, and I'm like, oh, I'm very curious as an adult to go back and watch it and to see how I feel about characters.
We can go on this journey together, Luke.
Let's.
Ash, your thoughts?
I'm gonna say that I know I'm gonna be very biased, but I don't think any of the other ones, like the Wolverine and the X-Men or any kind of, but again, I don't know.
Did you ever watch Evolution?
They just change up the animation so much that I don't know. I'm kind of not out. I'm not. They have good ones.
Wolverine and the X-Men was good.
I never watched Wolverine and the X-Men, but X-Men Evolution, the one on CW, was not bad.
That was
if
fun.
You didn't mind having like characters not match up with age in the comics.
Yeah, because they all took place in high school, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
they were kids, and
Except for
Wolverine was an
Logan.
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, except
Except for
it's
Logan.
always,
Yeah.
always except for Logan, except for James.
James.
even-
Yeah.
X-Men 1, I kind of felt like, Rogue was basically the Jubilee storyline in the
Yeah,
first
which
season.
they pretty much did that in Evolution. And she doesn't have her 90s outfit. She has like the early 2000s green.
Oh,
And
that
like-
real dark muted green.
Yeah, and she's like more not emo, but kind of gothy.
They tried to make X-Men for the millennials or something, or
Exactly.
right?
But it wasn't bad if you didn't have minor. I'm kind of like you with the "don't fuck with my shit," where it's like if it's written in the comics and it was done once before really well, how about stay along the same lines and you could tell similar stories and a little
Yeah.
different. But yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
bad. I actually liked it. The animation was similar to there was a Batman called The Batman that came out on the CW around the same time, which I actually enjoyed very much too.
I never got into that theme song, but yeah. I'm probably gonna watch it. Like fucking still quote it now, like fucking "Hey go where I wanna go." So I mean, it's very much a lot of my childhood. But I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but it's not Boba Fett or Mandalorian. I'll watch it when it's like, on, or if we're gonna talk about it in the show. They're doing the same thing with Batman not adventures, the Batman we've been watching, right? Or we watched as a kid.
Then I don't know.
Back?
I know they continued it, but it was a comic series.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Whoever's left, I think it's a 7.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to stop talking so I could kick it off to him, but thanks.
God damn.
Yeah, man. I never missed an episode growing up, never missed an episode of that. So I'm down to rewatch it. So I'm sure Carmen and Luis, to rewatch it, I'm down. Let's do that. It's on Disney Plus. I think it's like 3 seasons or something like that.
It's like 5, but the last one I was looking over them the other day. The last one is only 8 episodes.
Yeah, it was a
okay.
partial. It was weird because I remember watching it and then it'd be like, hey, where the fuck is my X-Men right now?
Yeah.
This is the X-Men time slot. There's no fucking X-Men, and it just never came back. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Little Andres screaming at the TV.
That was like little Andres. That was like 95, 96. I was either a 5th grader or a 6th grader.
I can still see on a 5th grade Andres go, what the fuck?
It's changing my shit.
So I'll give my opinion now. Since I'm the host, I'll go last. That is, as you just can't tell, I very much love that show. I have seen it a couple times. I think before the rights went to Disney, I believe that Netflix had it for a little bit, and I saw it again there. I did like a lot was that Morph, who becomes like the first season, and he comes out in later, is strictly a show from the animated series that they actually brought into the comics for a little bit. So that was super cool that was a character that got added. And then you'll see like throughout the series, like you'll see like, which is super awesome to me. They had a lot of characters like X-Force characters or different mutants that would just come out and you'd be like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. And like, they didn't talk about them. They didn't mention it. And if you knew, you knew. And if you didn't, well, you should have done your homework if you're an X-Men fan, which I would always like that would catch me up on like Easter eggs. Like those were like my first time. Like, so you'd be like, oh, there's Sunfire or whatever. So that was cool. Go ahead.
Did you get the cards like season 1?
Oh, I
season
did.
2, that had the hologram?
So I used to, I know what you're talking about. And so when you would they would have the tapes at Blockbuster where they had the tie-in and they had that holographic jumble part. That was, I think, I have one X-Men card series that I was like super into, that I collected everything that I have in a binder, probably in my parents' house, which was the 94 Flair series that
Like
I
the
have a ton of them.
masterpieces?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Masterpiece or not,
Oh,
but it was
the
94
masterpiece ones were the
Flair,
shit.
94 Flair Ultra, which they
Mhm.
had that Danger Room sequence where it was all hologram.
Uh-huh.
And that's the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yes, as you can tell, I am a big fan of that.
I would like if Omega Red was in the. I would be like, oh shit, that's Omega Red, but I only knew
Exactly. There was
that-
episodes with Omega Red, and then you'd see Colossus come out to fight Omega Red, and you'd be like, oh shit, and you'd hear him talk about Ileana, and you'd be like, oh, that's magic, and she dies. But they never, as far as I remember, they never got into that storyline.
No, I don't think they did. Do you remember when Pete was it Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut
Yes.
had a thing with X-Men?
See, that's the one where Ash was talking about the holograms. See, I don't know if that was
Okay.
just Pizza Hut or it did have a tie-in with Blockbuster as well. But it was a Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were able to buy
The tapes, and
the
they were
tapes.
they were like a couple episodes in them.
Yeah. I think my dad still has the ones from Pizza Hut, and I think they're still unopened. I don't think he ever opened them.
I'm pretty sure you could get a good penny for those.
Yeah.
So I could actually do some research if I was you.
Yeah. I want to say that he did not open them, and I think they also came with like a little mini comic book.
Yeah, they did, the Ash cans.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so I am very much looking forward to it. I am going to be a 40-year-old man with my, at that time, 2-year-old daughter watching that over again. Yes.
Yeah, see, she won't fight with you. My boys, I'll put that. I don't want to watch that. Put on Bluey.
She fights with me all the time. She takes after me too much. So she'll be fighting and actual fighting, not just arguing.
Oh yeah.
So I have my hands full with that one. Moving on. We have the official, I guess it's official now, since there was a leak of the Obi-Wan Kenobi release date. It's going to be on May 25th, the weekend or the Wednesday before Memorial Day. So you should all put that in your calendars. I am going to, because I very much love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we get to see Hayden Christensen back, which is another amazing thing. So, Carmen, give us your thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm so fucking ready for this, because I know that, like, we have been talking about it since it was announced and previous to it being announced a year ago, probably. So the fact that it's finally coming, I have enjoyed every other content that they have given us related to Star Wars, but this has been one that I've been waiting for the longest. And so I'm excited for it, because if it's going to be delivering on the level that the other shows have been delivering on, like The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, then, I mean, take my money. You already are Disney, so, like, just give it to me. Fine. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Ash, go for it.
Not really sure what to expect. I'm hoping it's just going to fill in a lot of the gaps. That's what she said. But it's going to be. I mean, I haven't gone wrong. So I mean, fucking A. I'm happy that he's still willing to do something like that. Like, it's not just the movies and whatever. Like, that's kind of cool. That's fucking. That's not somebody that's like, I don't want to only be known for this. Like, he's just somebody that's, fucking A. I am that guy. It's the same reason I like Michael Keaton. Like, he never did not say I'm not Batman. Like, fuck it, man. It's your job to be known for other things. Fuck that. I'm gonna love it. Sorry. I'm hoping too that it's like kind of what we got to see Luke become. I'm hoping it's like that, where the things that he didn't get to do maybe in Phantom Menace, like now he can do crazy shit like Luke.
To touch up on what Ash said, I very much agree with him on the Ewan McGregor part, where he's like I love playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want to come back to do Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I don't like that isn't a typecast to me. He liked doing the prequels, even though they're panned by a lot of fans. I personally will defend those movies. And I like he is absolutely. So it's kind of hard for me to say because I've always had a super crush on Natalie Portman growing up. So to say that Ewan McGregor is my favorite part in the movies is like putting him on a pedestal. But even though like that is my Star Wars character, I love Obi-Wan over mostly everything. So I am super looking forward to it. It like anything that Disney does now with their Star Wars, like it fucking doesn't fail. And I love that they're doing the TV shows because they give us something episodic or they give us a half hour to an hour and they could tell like a longer story and then just save like the main story of the what's going forward next with the films. Save that like special events for just the movie theaters. Like give us shit on TV so we could like draw out long season stuff and save like the big stories, Star Wars stories, and let us like fill the side stuff. Like we don't necessarily need a fucking cinematic version of this. Like the TV does well. You guys throw the same fucking budget that you would. It doesn't like lack because it's on fucking the Disney Plus. Like you guys keep doing bang up work and like there's nothing for like it's like, oh, you're giving us a TV series instead of a movie. Well, it's like fuck yeah now. Yes, Ash, go for it.
It also you get to flesh out the story a lot more. You know what I mean? It's not even in a trilogy that's maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You're still trying to fit in this guy's storyline, this girl's storyline, fucking these side whatevers. Like it's like we went from I don't know his name. I call him Black Chewbacca, but what's his name? Something like that. S, right?
Parkin?
Spark? No. Black Chewbacca?
What's his name?
Spartan? No, it was like Sat. No,
No.
not Sat. It's an S though. But we went from that story, like him being whatever, and then all the way to like fucking A, the last episode we'll get into, but we care about him going from we thought he was gonna be the big bad into fucking A. That last scene was like, no. So it was like very good. And it's just you have 8 hours to tell a story and it's all just one story, the Tusken Raiders to all the way to you know, him wanting to take over for Jabba. Like it's more fleshed out and it's more this is everything that was happening during that stuff, you know. Sorry.
That character's name is Black Chrysanthemum.
Why when he was hurt by the thing, he called him something with an S. So that's why I was like, but
no, I'm looking at IMDb. Yeah, I'm looking at IMDb. It's Black Chrysanthemum. Yeah.
Maybe they call him Santin. Like maybe that was short. Maybe
probably. I didn't catch it when I was watching the episode, but yeah.
Luis.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry for interrupting you.
Looking forward to it. Give me more content. I have no expectations, and I'm just excited to see what will be given to me for my consumption.
I would like to add that I do want them to build on what I got to see of Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Clone Wars, and just how they have been connecting all of those to like the new shows. His relationship with Anakin was very much a thing during the cartoons or the Clone Wars. So getting to see that part of it, you know, still played live action after the pre-sequels or not
prequels. You got it.
The prequels, yeah. So I look forward to that just because I'm sure they're going to connect everything to what's going on now. And I would really appreciate that because then it would be like seriously all my dreams come true of like Clone Wars just continuing on, and I would feel very much spoiled by that.
Awesome.
In watching those, I feel so out of the loop. Like when fucking alien Clint Eastwood showed up and somebody's like, that's blah 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 blah. Like
Cod Bane.
Thank you. Like or even when General Grievous showed up, like for me as a general public, I just thought, oh, that dude's dope. But then some from paperback or whatever you guys know him from, canon, like that kind of stuff. Like it would be cool for me to know. I'm sure there's like a million paperback that has to do sorry, what am I trying to say? That have to do with Obi-Wan that like you guys know that I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't have no idea. Like I only knew Boba Fett came out of the Sarlacc pit because my friend had the paperback that had that story. You know what I mean? So it's cool that you guys know that, but it would be cool for people that don't read that stuff to kind of, I don't know, fill in the blanks kind of.
And I think that you have mentioned this before, Ash, that these shows, even though they do have things that they're paying off, like for people like me or Andres or even Esteban, you know, that like we've been through the comics or like the shows or, you know, the history things. But then also like for Luis and for you, that you may not know like the background on all those things. Like you can still enjoy it. It doesn't take away. Like you don't need to know because it's kind of like explained in a sense when the show is happening, right? Like, I mean, for this guy, as you called him, the Clint Eastwood that shows up, Cod Bane, like you could tell some history there and like he's like a badass, but it didn't take you out of the show where like, oh, where is this character from or whatever. So I appreciate that these shows are able to do that for general audiences, because then that kind of like reels you in of like wanting to know more and like, you know.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
That's what I was gonna to touch on, to tag team on her point. It's like, yeah, like it was like, oh, you're like, oh shit, there's something there, and like if you jump online, you're like, see other people like, oh my god, he came out in it, and you'd be like, oh shit, like maybe there's other storyline to him, and that would like get you to go watch it and see why other people were excited that you got to see that character come out. And then it's like it gets you involved deeper into shit that you didn't know, and you could be like, fuck, man, why the fuck didn't I know about this before when it came out? And you're like, this is so fucking cool. And maybe you find another character that you love, and so that they like, it's been done, especially like a Mandalorian, and you get like characters that's like they're paying off, and you're like, oh shit, this character is awesome. Let me go find out more about them. So it just gets you deeper into the universe, and it's an entry point where you could go off and see other shit. So
and two, they can even do, being that they have access to Hayden Christensen, they can do a whole episode flashback where it's something that happened during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for.
That.
Yeah, there was, and I think this is going to put a smile on everybody's faces, is that they interviewed Ewan McGregor, and he even said it was a blast working with Hayden Christensen again. And he did kind of mention that the majority of the scenes with him and Hayden Christensen are going to be flashbacks. So it's going to be there. You may see him in the clone trooper armor, you know. So
that'd be dope if you get to see like when the baby Jabba the Hutt gets kidnapped and they have to go back and save him.
Yep.
Super dope.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, you know. And then the mere fact that they cast Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor, like that just fucking blew my mind when I saw that. I'm just like, holy shit! Like I have a feeling that Disney is building on this bigger universe to get us ready for the next movies that are going to be coming out.
Fucking, it only helps them. Like when we go to Tomorrowland,
well, obviously,
fucking a Mandalorian's walking by, and then you can have fucking, what's his name? Castellonius? What's his name?
Cad Bane.
Casadores? What is his name?
Casadores?
Are you talking about Blacker Samson?
No, it's Cad Bane.
It's Cad Bane.
But you know what I mean? All these characters now can pass by building on a universe because it's all Disney now. Like just little, it could all be part of it.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Does everybody have everything they wanted to say about Star Wars and Obi-Wan Kenobi?
May
'Cause we're
25th can't get fast enough.
We're going to jump back into it at the end to do your guys' Boba Fett since I haven't started.
Let's
And
do
also,
it.
fucking those flashbacks could involve little different, you know, General Grievous could come back and just all these little anything that they didn't do for the prequels can now be filled in.
The only
with
thing
this
that I
little
find
connection.
the only thing I find sad about it is that we don't have Christopher Lee alive anymore, so we're not going to get any more Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Count
Yeah.
Dooku.
That's the only sad part. But yeah, I'm totally with you on the Grievous and everything else. Moving on. So also this week we got news that Russell Crowe is going to join the cast of Craven the Hunter. So we don't know what character he's going to play, but we have seen like the cast listing and there are a bunch of family members. So he may be Craven the Hunter's father to Aaron Taylor Johnson's Craven the Hunter. Either way, that's a pretty nice casting, especially since he already played Kal-El's dad in Superman. So,
Yep.
what are your thoughts, Luis?
He's I'm sorry. He's a good actor, and I'm curious to see what he does because I can't help but just keep thinking I know his weight has fluctuated a lot over the years, so I'm curious if he's gonna like, is he in the shape that he is in now? If he's in the midst of changing that, like, curious.
So I have a film recommendation. I sometimes do jump in and recommend shit, even though it's not my turn, just because somebody touched on something and it popped into my mind. So if you guys want to watch something, I have 2 recommendations for Russell Crowe. I know a lot. Actually, it might be 3. Okay, it's 3. So I really love Russell Crowe in Cinderella Man and A Beautiful Mind. Those 2 movies are incredible. But if you want an even older one where you see a super young Russell Crowe, there's Romper Stomper. So that's like a gang movie. And he's really young and plays a dickhead. So those are 3 recommendations I have just because you guys touched up upon it. And it could show Russell Crowe's depth as an actor. Stefan, your thoughts on Craven the Hunter, Russell Crowe?
I'm a big Russell Crowe fan. He's falling into that category where I'll pretty much watch whatever he's in. It doesn't matter, even if it's like a small cameo, you know. And there are a few actors that it's like, who's in it? Okay, I'm gonna go watch it just merely for that. You know, Pacino's one of them. De Niro's one of them, you know, Dustin Hoffman's another one, Tom Hanks. It's like stuff like that. It's just kind of like, you know, if they're in it, it doesn't matter what genre it is. I want to watch it because I want to see it, you know. I'm excited for it. You know, again, I don't know where he's going to be playing, you know, what role he's going to be playing. To me, this is a wait and see. This is a Sony film, if I'm not mistaken. This is part of the Sony universe. So
it's a Sony Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure where it's going to go, how it's going to go ahead and get drawn together. I mean, now they're already talking about Amazing Spider-Man 3 happening, a possible now Spider-Man 4 happening with Tobey Maguire. So I don't know where this Craven the Hunter is going to land. Is it going to be in Andrew Garfield? Is it going to be a Tom Holland? Is it going to be a Tobey Maguire thing? Like, I'm not sure, you know. And to top it off, we're also getting a Madam Web. So this whole Sony Spider-Verse, I'm on the wait and see type of thing. You know, I want to see where it's going to go. Morbius has been pushed back like 7 different times. You know, I'm on the fence about this entire Sony verse. Yeah.
So since you touched on that's we failed to mention this week, since you brought it up, they they did announce Madam Web is going to be Dakota Johnson. So yeah, Sony is doing a lot with a lot of Spider-Man's, I guess she's not a rogue, but I guess ancillary characters in the Spider-Man storyline. So we're getting another one with her. As far as I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't say she was starting her own movie. She was just going to be Madam Web, correct?
Right. Yeah. And they're saying that this is not going to be the traditional Madam Web that we know from the 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah, because she was an older woman,
exactly,
kind of like fortune tellery vibes.
Correct. Yeah. So who knows? We'll see.
Ash, your thoughts?
I'm of the opinion of what they're saying. I mean, obviously he's not going to be all fucking beer gut and whatever, but even if he is, maybe it's who he used to be. And if they do this son of the Craven the Hunter, like it's him wanting to be a better hunter than his dad who became a drunk or whatever, they'll make it fit. It's not gonna be him all, hey, so I'm Craven, you know what I mean? Like put him in the lion thing, and they're not gonna do that. If they do, they'll make it fit. But when I said that, I was like, it'd be cool if he gets just to the gladiator level. And it's not a judgment like they did for Wonder Woman. It's just more of you want him to fit the character. He's an amazing actor, a fucking American gangster. As much as people love Denzel, which I did as well, it was like a fucking face-off. It was his character just wanting to catch him, and then to grow a trust to turn Denzel. Spoiler. But anyway, it's gonna be awesome.
Don't worry, the movie's like 12 years old now.
Yeah,
you're good.
So
probably more.
Probably more. But that is one of the. If it wasn't 3 hours long, that is one of those movies that are like
2007.
I'll catch an hour of it for sure if it's on.
That is a very good movie. I saw it in the theaters. So
me too. Josh Brolin was fucking such a.
Yes, yeah. Josh Brolin's a piece of shit in that movie. Carmen.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Same as with the rest of us, I am excited to see Russell Crowe in the role, whatever role he's gonna portray. I am apprehensive, like Seven said, because Sony keeps announcing a lot of projects having to do with the Spider-Verse. And so I'm apprehensive only in the fact that they saw the turnaround of what this cameo did with in Spider-Man No Way Home, was having the whole universe kind of collide. And so there's obviously, and we've always known this, that there's room for the fans because we always want more. We always want different iterations of Spider-Man and the again, I'm apprehensive only because can it be well done? And let's not cut projects if we don't feel like they're not doing well, just because there may be some fans that truly enjoy it. So that's all. That's the only apprehension I have, that they have been known to cut projects just because they may not think that they were doing great, even though they did have a fan following. But I hope that this is not the case for the whole Spider-Verse that they're building.
But here's the thing, though, is that I'm not sure if a lot of people realize is that because Sony is making so many movies in relation to Spider-Man, they're not giving up their rights anytime soon.
At all.
So,
right.
Yeah. So because of us getting a movie after movie after movie with Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery or allies with Spider-Man and stuff like that, they're never going to lose the rights ever, because
it's never going back to Marvel.
Yeah, it's not, it's never going to go back to Marvel at this point with them, trying to cash in on something like this, I mean, shit, we'll be lucky if our grandkids end up seeing the rights go back to Marvel at that point, you know what I mean? Because they're trying to establish, so many things and not let go But I think the reason why they're doing that is because they know that now Sony and Marvel can now play nice and coexist and
or have to.
exactly, so there's
Unless
that.
unless Disney forks over the money and buys Sony as well.
There's also that.
See, but then you'll have like that would definitely bring up like antitrust lawsuits, which that already had tried to shutter the Fox Disney deal that took long to finish. So yeah, best scenario is that we all get. Sorry, Ash, I see. I'll go with you next. Is that we all get added content of characters that we either like or enjoy or will learn to like if they do a good job. I love Spider-Man. I love the films they've done solo, like just the Sony version. But I haven't seen Venom. It just kind of, and I know Luis, you loved the first Venom version. And this is not me talking shit. It just didn't grab me. I like Tom Hardy as an actor. His portrayal, like just on the trailer that I've seen, didn't grab me. I should probably watch it. I will probably watch it and like it. But like they're already talking about Morbius. I actually really love that character in the animated series on Fox. So I'm looking forward to it, even though it's what's his name? I just left my head.
Jared Leto?
Yeah, thank you. Even though I'm like iffy on Jared Leto here. Yeah, exactly, Carmen. He is a good actor, but he is a weirdo, so maybe good. And I really love the Craven the Hunter character, especially in his like. So speaking of that animated series, if you're able to, Esteban, do you know if it's on Disney as well?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that is one that I would definitely recommend because it has like that show is ultra good. And they have the series with Craven the Hunter that is amazing. That'll make you fall like that's a villain that you don't hate, but that you grow to love. Then you hate. Am I sad that it's not going to Marvel? No, because that'll force them to play nice with Sony, and it'll give us more content. And as long as we're getting content, I'm happy. If it's good or bad on my end. If it's something I don't like, I'm not going to watch. And if it's something you guys like touches you personally and you like it, motherfucking hell yeah, go enjoy your shit. I'm not going to talk shit. Go get your happiness. Ash, sorry for taking long.
No, it's okay. The way they could do it is don't do Spider-Man 4, don't do Amazing Spider-Man 3. Sinister Six has Tom
Or
Holland.
do all of that. Or do all of that.
No. I'm saying, or do all of it, just so that it's not. I thought we saw Spider-Man. How come this guy's for the general public? If they just do it like the Dark Knight Rises, and
to be honest,
okay.
And not to jump down your throat right now, I kind of want them to do all of that. I want to see Toby. I want to see Andrew in their own universes and continue. And it doesn't have to be in line with whatever Marvel and Toby and not Toby and Tom Holland are doing. Like it could be its separate own universe thing, kind of what like they wanted to do with whatever Batman versions they're doing.
Yes. Well, like what if Sinister Six had Toby, but fucking Venom had, as much as we want to see Tom Holland, just as a for instance, that Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom has Andrew Garfield. Instead of just dedicating a whole Spider-Man to it, just it's different stories with different Spider-Man.
I think what they do is they throw it to Tom because Tom is okay. Like you make Tom the Spider-Man. He is the storyline Spider-Man that goes when they're fucking doing an Avengers or they're doing a big Marvel thing. Like he is the main Spider-Man. And Toby or Andrew Garfield to be like our side stories in their own universe doing their shit, and they don't get major crossovers unless it is a fucking like Endgame style event.
The Tom Hardy and the Tom Holland Venom, Spider-Man and Venom is the buddy cop movie I want to see. but I still want one movie where all Venom wants to do is kill Spider-Man. And I do feel that that's like Andrew Garfield and Venom, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that would be like, I agree with you. That
it has to be two different stories, you know what I mean? Or two different Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield's kind of like sense of humor matches more up with that, and I would like to see that. Not saying shit about Tom Holland or Tobey Maguire. I just
it's almost the same character so far as that Eddie Brock and that Peter Parker. Like, whoa, what are you doing? We can't do that. Like, it would be them two going head to head. Would be it doesn't match.
See, I don't know if it is all. Sorry, like I don't know if that is because we got the rushed second Andrew Garfield version where he had so much potential, and that's why I love that Spider-Man so much.
Yeah, me
and
too.
we gotta like comic correct Gwen and everything. But please, like just please give us that perfect Spider-Gwen. Like, it doesn't have to be like that's even another universe that could like jump in where you could use Doctor Strange's fucking multiverse of madness shit, and we get Spider-Gwen that could just break off into its own thing that jumps into Andrew Garfield's universe because it's his Gwen that lived. And then like, okay, we have Spider-Gwen in his universe and it stays there and it's not in the Marvel universe continuum. Like and that's another way that it is so fucking smart the way they're doing this with like multiverses, where it's like, yeah, this shit isn't in our timeline, but we could make stories on that timeline that doesn't affect the main one and that could stand alone with the actors that were already there, and we could like fucking tell shit that we didn't have the ability to do before.
And it'd be cool to have a good storyline with Andrew Garfield and Gwen Stacy. I know I'm using real person and character name. There's just so many fucking memes that
Emma
are like,
Stone.
Is there anything Andrew Garfield can't do? And then it'll be like, save Gwen. Like, just to have that whole little
savage.
Yeah, right? Just to, fucking, there's a lot of things like maybe she didn't die. Like, I don't know. Just whatever.
No, bro, she's dead.
Well, okay. Well, then how is she alive in these other things? Multiverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's fucking 12 in the Spider-Verse, right? Not 12, but I'm being fucking an asshole.
I don't think so.
He's like 16 in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. No, Dick, she's fucking 27 going out with a 16-year-old, which
I guess if you're doing it timeline wise, MJ was there when Peter was in university. So yes, I would think that this is Gwen was high school. So sorry if I shit on your parade.
No, yeah, but in the Toby one, she was
yes, it's different because that's one of the issues I had with the Toby one is that they had MJ as their Gwen when they didn't have to do that. But whatever.
That was a cool line though. Gwen Stacy was my MJ. Like, oh, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and move on, unless Carmen, you had something. Okay. Awesome. We all spent.
Who's your Wi-Fi service? I wanna go over to them.
Yeah, I was ready to move on. I wasn't gonna acknowledge that you disappeared, but that was our friend Ash. He doesn't know how to leave things alone. Moving on. So this is something I know nothing about because I don't know this actor. I don't mean any disrespect, but Anthony Ramos is set to join Ironheart, where we get Riri
Williams.
Yeah, thank you. Riri Williams is going to take over our Iron Man and be Ironheart on Disney Plus. Does anybody want to go first on this? I have no opinion other than, yo, bro, that's fucking dope. Let's do this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ash.
Wasn't Jarvis Tony Stark for her Iron Man? For
In the
her
comic
Ironheart?
books, yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, would he be down to do the voice, or do we know anything about that yet? Or
I
We
don't
don't
honestly.
know the character he's playing.
Yeah, we don't know the characters he's playing.
no, I mean RDJ. Would he be down
I
to
don't
do
think
the-
he's coming back, dude.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's done. He's kind of pretty much said it that he's done. So Anthony Ramos is I guess now an up and coming. You know, he was in Hamilton. When the first run of Hamilton came out, he was in Hamilton. He was also in The Heights, and he's lent his voice to a couple of animated featured films. So as far as well as cartoons and stuff like that.
the TV show The Heights?
No, the one that came out on HBO Max for a little bit that went to theaters, the one
okay.
that Lin-Manuel Miranda did.
That was called The Heights, though?
Yeah, it's called In the Heights.
Oh, In the Heights. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, he's now becoming, he's up and coming because he's, you know, watching, he's being picked up by a lot of other projects. But again, it's one of those things where he's been cast in a secretive role. Who knows? I'm not too familiar with Ironheart and Riri Williams. The only thing I really know is that she is going to make her MCU debut in Black Panther 2. So, and then she gets her TV show. But other than that, I mean, again, this is going back to the whole conversation we had a few minutes ago in regards to Disney, and Disney at this point can do no wrong. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I can't wait to see it. I'm a massive Marvel head and will watch pretty much anything that is Marvel related. So.
Is the sister Black Panther, or is it going to be the other king? Or the
We
other...
don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. There's been a lot of drama on set with what's her name that plays Shuri. So we don't know. A lot of people are asking or petitioning that Chadwick Boseman is recasted. And I think there was an interview with Chadwick Boseman's brother where he said that he wouldn't want, you know, the character to just the T'Challa character to just end. He would want it to keep going and move forward and to be recasted. So I don't think they've decided yet, you know, on what's supposed to happen. But I know in the comic books at one point, the Black Panther mantle went to T'Challa's son, who was the child of obviously Black Panther and Storm. So
they're filming that movie, aren't they, already?
They are, but they just started all over again because of not started all over, but picked up shooting again because of the whole drama with what's her name?
Yeah.
Letitia.
Yes,
Letitia
thank you.
Wright.
Yeah.
Because she was an anti-vaxxer?
There was that, and she actually got hurt.
Did I say that?
Yeah. She got hurt a couple times on set. So I think she like rolled her ankle and tore a couple ligaments in her ankle or something like that. And then another time, I think she was knocked unconscious in a stunt. So she's been hurt a couple times.
I have to know who the fucking Black Panther is then, right?
It's possible. It's possible that they already have, you know, something, you know, going on. But a lot of people don't want it to be M'Baku, or the guy that plays M'Baku. Yeah. Because and again, this is, you know, comic book. In the comic books, he is actually a villain, and not like a villain, but more like an anti-hero, but is always going head to head with T'Challa and always challenging him on many things. So that's why it wouldn't be a good fit for that. So.
I happen to not agree with that. Like, even though I may disagree with her, whatever, with her fucking anti-vaxxer stance or whatever, I think it should be Shuri. But I do not mind if it is M'Baku to take over. Right. And yeah, I'm pretty much don't fuck with my comics on that. But it's Duke. What's his Sevan? Duke.
I'll find it right now.
Duke. Sorry, what happened?
No, but in the movie universe, he's not a dick. Like even in that
exactly.
when they came together, like, maybe that, you know.
And he's there in Endgame, so we get to see him like the eye joined in. So yeah, we could see him as an anti-hero. And if he somehow takes over and they explain it perfectly, then I am willing to accept that as a change. I think
After
Winston
the
Duke.
snap, do we see Black Panther come back? No, right?
no.
So that could be his goodbye, kind of.
He came back in Endgame.
Huh?
He came back in Endgame.
Oh, he did. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that you're talking about that plays M'Baku, his name's Winston Duke.
Winston Duke. Yeah. Thank you.
He was the one in the trailer for Creed 3, right? Doing all those, playing the. No? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Luis, I haven't heard your voice in a bit.
We're trying to keep him awake. That's why.
I think he was asleep.
No, I'm awake. I hate to say this again, but I feel pretty impartial as long as you give me a good story. I've had strong opinions before a film comes out before, and not every time, but most times I get proven, oh, this is why they did it this way, whether it be casting or a story going a certain way. And I just have to kind of have faith in the process. The people that are behind the film have a certain passion behind the project, and so there's a vision, and so I just need to see the vision, and if it's not my shit, it's not my shit, but it'll ultimately be a part of a bigger universe. And there is a part of me that gets a little giggly though at the idea of his younger sister getting the throne, because I can visualize
So smart in the show, in the movie.
Yeah, I can visualize her teaming up with Haley, the new Hawkeye, and like all like the younger generation, and then Ironheart. Like to see if they were to go on a mission, kind of
even with Yelena. Sorry to interrupt you, but just like the relationship of the three of them, I think would be like a very interesting playoff.
I would absolutely agree there, and it's. I don't know if anyone saw Young Justice, but it was very like the first couple episodes is so like they want to be taken seriously, and so they go to this mission they're over their heads, but they don't want to ask for help because they don't want the Justice League to look down on them. And so I can see a Avengers thing unfolding in that type of world, like, and so the possibilities are exciting. What's going to end up happening, that's anybody's guess.
It's Sam's Captain America, plus it's like they kind of left it off to here we're going on to phase 4 or 2 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
like,
those are all the vets though. Like those are all the ones that it's like they're the ones now leading the new generation.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting to see that, like, even in Hawkeye, when you see her looking up to him and just how he's able to diffuse certain situations where she's in over her head, like, and because she has the skill, it's just like she doesn't like think it through the way that he does. And he's like, you meet one of these guys, you meet them all, like, just very, very calm, very collected, and just that experience. Yeah, it's exciting. It's again, we've talked about this a lot. It's like a buddy cop thing, and just to see all these young ones to get together.
He doesn't even have to be done. It just could be. He doesn't maybe have to be in every movie. It just, oh fuck, we need Hawkeye. Like, movie 1, movie 2. Like, this is the point where we need to call fucking old man Bruce. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of like thing.
Yeah.
This is where we need to bug the fucking Luke Skywalker, and he comes back for one last run as Hawkeye. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bring up that scenario.
Yeah.
Or like they made a mess of a mission and then they have to come in and save them, or
right.
Like, be like, oh, you guys,
especially with the trying to prove themselves kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Very like was it Spider-Man Homecoming when the ferry is sinking, and then Iron Man comes to save the day when Spider-Man is trying to like fix it. He's like, what can I do to help? He's like, get out of my way. Like, because he almost killed these people, blah, blah, blah. But anyway.
But he needed all that for us to be able to get to this Tom Holland that's willing to fucking do this multi-universe. You know what I mean? Like, we needed all of that for him to become this.
And I foresee a journey happening with these the newer generation. So to answer your question, Andres, I'm here for it. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna move on to the trailers of the week. I'm gonna do this quick because I sure as shit didn't see all of them, but the one I wanted to. So if you see it, give your opinion. If not, I'm gonna move to the next one. Ready? So Jurassic Park. I'm looking at you, Luis. Go.
I know.
Again?
I know it's very.
Clean the screen, man.
It's starting to get cliche. The legacy characters, but I'm not. I'm not bored of it yet. Like I still very much. I'm all about it. Like just seeing the legacy characters come back from the first film is just everything for me. Like Dr. Grant, Dr. Sadler, like like it was just, and then also seeing the historically correct dinosaurs with feathers. It's like what the fuck? Like, and you're seeing them, life find that line, life finds a way. You see, so many little nuggets dropped in there. The Dilophosaurus makes a comeback. We see him screaming in the face of somebody, but to shoot some shit. Yeah. The yeah. Oh god, so excited! Yeah. So just to see all those different dinosaurs, the way they're growing, and yeah, really excited. And there's just, looks like chaos.
Awesome. Anybody else?
I haven't seen Fallen Kingdom, so I'm gonna watch it. That's the second Jurassic World.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah. So
before
I haven't
you
seen
go
that.
on,
Yeah.
Did this trailer make you want to see Fallen Kingdom?
Me? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is that on right now?
I don't
know.
Disney
I
Plus?
don't think it is. I don't think it's on anything.
Oh,
I don't think it's on anything.
did it just come out?
It came out a while ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to rent it.
What's the one where he's on the fucking dune buggy that he's on in this one in the trailer? Is that the first one, right? The little not the dune buggy, the ATFT. The Star Wars. The fucking the four-wheeler that he's on the fucking trailer.
The ATV?
Okay, so that's the first one.
Yes.
Thank you.
I believe so. One? I believe he was.
I just know he was in the dirt bike when
he's following. Yes, it is the first one because that's the same one where he's doing that, where he's the meme that they do with the two.
Oh, with the Raptors or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a dirt bike, right? That was an ATV.
Okay, my bad, Doc.
Yeah, because he's riding side by side with all the Raptors.
You're right, Luis. It is a dirt bike. You're right. It is a dirt bike. The second one, the Fallen Kingdom, is where he's riding the ATV. And then the third one, Dominion, is he's on the motorcycle again.
Okay. I had that switched.
Anybody else?
I'm down to see Fallen Kingdom. I don't like that. That's twice they try to get away from Laura Dern and Home Slice, and then they bring it back. They bring them back because they know, like, come on, man, just stop trying to get away from them and just leave it alone. Like, let them be in all of them, or let them be like it's the Hawkeye thing. Like, you're gonna bring them in because it gets so out of control that fucking you're gonna bring in the two people that look at this. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't know. It's gonna be good. If anything, the little kid and the brother and
really
sister
mad about it though.
The little brother and sister should be the ones that should be kind of like almost the new ones that you bring in.
He seems really aggressive for something that he wants to see. He's just like, I don't know.
Exactly. He's like, I don't have an
absolutely fucking silent if it wasn't for me. All right. Well, I feel that it's gonna be actually.
I was actually waiting to move on to the next topic.
You can't hear me because
please, let's move on to the next topic.
Copy,
I'm sorry. You were talking over Carmen. Carmen was saying something.
I wasn't. It's okay. Moving on. Next.
Oh, great heavens!
Next trailer was Lightyear. Anybody have an opinion? Go.
I'm excited for it. I'm just really excited for it. That's all.
Ash?
Is Tim Allen going to be in it?
Nope.
It's going to be great. Not because he's not in it. That sounded bad.
I was gonna say that I like your reasoning for it, but now Luis,
I didn't see it.
Carmen.
I had watched the previous trailer. I'm excited for it. Buzz is one of my favorite characters from Toy Story. So getting his solo film, I like it.
I did not see it. Will I watch it eventually? Probably. Will I go to the theaters to see it? Probably not. But I hope you all get what you want to see from this movie. Enjoy. Next one is one that I have actually been looking very forward to is Stephen King's Firestarter. Anybody else see that trailer before I go?
Yes, it was great. I can't wait for that one because I saw Firestarter years ago with my godfather. It was one of his favorite horror movies, along with Amityville Horror. So that's, I think, where I got my horror
horrorness.
Yes, my horrorness was from my godfather, who my oldest son is named after. So I'm super excited for it. Anything that Stephen King is I'm gonna watch, but yeah, I'm extremely excited. It makes me want to watch the original Firestarter again.
Anybody else?
The trailer looks amazing. I will definitely be watching this movie. As you
Drew Barrymore
had
in it?
mentioned, what? No,
What?
Zac Efron's in it.
Gotta get mad gangster
Zac
with it.
Efron is, yeah.
She's gonna stab you in the fucking jugular, bro.
Anybody else?
She started mid-conversation and went, what? Like, whoa.
So there was very little released about this. I was this show. I was surprised, or this movie. Sorry, I was surprised with its date. God damn it! I had it written down and I lost it. Sorry. Couple months. I think May, maybe. Anyway, May. Thank you. I think it is in May. They had just said that it was being done. The trailer is pretty awesome. They give our girl more. Because she is, like, as the movie is entitled, she is a fire starter. She has pyronetic abilities. Yeah, so she has pyronetic abilities, but she also has a bit of the shine. So I'm really looking forward to how they tell this, as opposed to the original movie, which was kind of slow. So, as someone said, anything Stephen King, I'm probably in, even though it may be bad. I will give it a couple episodes to watch. So yeah, this is super cool. I cannot wait to watch this. Anybody have anything else before we get into our final topic?
Real quick, did any of us finish The Stand?
No.
I was gonna ask that when you said I would watch it.
That's saying a lot, and that I specifically said that I will give it a chance. I love the Stand book. I love the original Stand miniseries. The way they did this remake was odd. We only really saw one episode as a show, because we usually do show recaps.
Yeah.
And that shit fell off really hard for all of us. I don't blame anyone. I saw 3 episodes. It was just weird. It doesn't match up with the original series of the book, the way they tell a story. And that kind of threw me. I would like to maybe go back and revisit it. Anybody else have any thoughts before?
I tapped at the 3rd episode also.
Yeah,
same.
Me too.
But I did see him in Succession, and I went, oh shit, and I forgot how cool he was. So I kind of feel like, sorry, I'm killing it. Is he going to be true? Is he going to be in the Truest Blood? Do we know?
Alexander Skarsgård?
Yeah.
What about it?
Is he going to be in? He's going to be Eric in the Truest Blood.
I think that's a podcast.
Right?
I think it's a podcast, dude. I don't think it's a TV show.
Oh, it's not a. The way
I think it's a podcast.
Oh, my bad. Then never mind.
That's good. So you're talking about the podcast where they're doing like reviews, which
I honestly, you're right. I honestly, the way they had the HBO and her with the vampire teeth, I thought it was a new.
It's Deborah Ann Wall and Kristen Bauer. So they are doing a watch through. So that's what you're talking about, which would be
but
super
I'm
cool.
sorry. I just
No,
thought
no,
it was
no,
gonna be the
perfectly
show.
fine.
But that's where. But when I saw him in Succession, it reminded me of fucking
Eric.
The Stand, and then it would like, but it just all went there. But yeah, it's a great character. He's a great fucking. I won't see Tarzan, but he's a great character. He's a great character actor.
Anybody else? Didn't he come out in that movie with Rihanna? Was it Battleship? Was that Battleship movie?
Oh,
No,
shit.
that was Taylor Kitsch, the guy that played Gambit in the Wolverine
I am
Origins.
positive he came out in a movie with Rihanna where they were in a battleship and there was
I will
a
find out.
alien or a robot. I'll put
He was
money
in
on
2 Battleship movies. Oh no!
what
It might have been.
I will find out.
I
would find out.
I guarantee it and would put money on it. And it was pretty sure Battleship. Anyone?
What if we just? Is The Stand only on CBS Plus or is it on something
I
else
think
now?
it's still just on CBS Plus, by the way.
I'm
Yeah,
down to finish it.
It's not. It's Paramount Plus now, though, right? Did it
Paramount
not
I
work?
Plus.
think you're right. Yeah. I
Hey,
think you're
that
right.
fucking the making of The Godfather. I want to see that shit. That shit look dope, right? You see the trailer?
I have not. No, you're gonna have to send it in the group chat.
Esteban, you see the trailer?
No, I didn't, but I was giving a thumbs up to Andres that you're right. He was in Battleship along with
Oh.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's in the movie. What
Yeah,
the
Liam Neeson's in it.
fuck?
Motherfucker do anything.
And
I know
then,
Rihanna's in that movie, but she doesn't
Yeah.
suck. Like she isn't bad, and she should probably consider acting more.
yeah,
But
and
that
then
storyline sucked major cock.
yeah,
All his movies
and then what's his
Sorry.
name from Midnight Mass? The guy that played the priest, Hamish.
Oh yeah,
He's in it as well.
he is a very good Hamish Linklater.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I still want to see that demon. I'm not down to watch the show, but I still want to see that fucking demon from that fucking the
It was
trailer.
pretty good.
The wings.
You
It
should
was a
watch
good show. It was a
Wait,
fucking good show.
Midnight Mass.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Speaking
Midnight Mass
of
isn't
which,
bad. There's a couple cringy things. You would probably want to stay away from Archive 81.
Yeah, I
But just the part where they're in the field and he brings out his wing. That's the part I want to see. Like,
there's a part where there is a church where you get to see him like full out.
Cool.
Yeah.
There was only really a couple maybe
Till the very end where it's a bunch of shits going on.
it gets creepy, yeah, but like Archive 81 gave me chills more than like any show recently. Really only episode 3, the fortune teller part that I told you my girlfriend almost tapped out at. Does anyone
With
see?
with the face scratching?
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
I cringed too. Like I almost looked away like a bitch.
Yeah, I did look away. And I
She's
love
like,
how
I'm like, oh god.
because she is digging into her face.
She digs into her own face because she's going mad because she's a fortune teller and she's seeing crazy shit. And she's like, and like you actually
That is a good
hands
show.
off
That is
to the prosthetics.
that is another recommendation if you need a show to watch. It's on Netflix, Archive 81. It's pretty
It's
good.
been
Can I
like in the
guys-
top 10 for the past like 2
I
years.
know, I noticed.
I'm
Can
like,
I ask, do you guys prefer CGI or like the
Oh, dude,
not manual,
practical.
prosthetics? I
Fucking
guess
practical,
Always
practical
prosthetics.
all the way.
Like
With
that is
horror,
one thing.
practical.
with horror
since
prosthetics, yeah.
Since we were talking about Firestarter with the actual fire, there's like scenes from that trailer where they show explosions of the flame. Like it'd be pretty cool if that was practical and not CGI,
Yeah.
because that's kind of the one of the, since we're in like Stephen King land, that I hated about the second It.
All the
Like
CGI.
I enjoyed the first one, even though I had problems with it, but that second one was lacking in my opinion, and it had a lot to do with the CGI.
Okay.
Just my thoughts.
Yeah, the trailer for Firestarter looks like they are doing some practical effects, especially with some of the
You know what
close-up.
looked really cool, since you're talking about it, is the restroom scene where she's with the teacher and like she's been holding her anger for a long
Yes.
time because her dad told her to. and like the teacher goes in there to see if she's okay, and she's like touching the stalls till it finally like blows up.
Yep.
Like that looks CGI kind of, but it still looked good. But I was like, please just make more of that practical, and it would look really, really good.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes where I think it's where the mom's talking to her and trying to calm her down, and then like all of a sudden, like her arms go up, and then you see from like her shoulder down to her wrist catch fire. That should look dope.
And Zac Efron like runs in to put it out.
Yeah, that shit looks dope, dude. Like I'm really excited for that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now. Go ahead. So that is a show that so I saw this and I sent it to the group, and I was like, this is a show you could actually watch because it's more sci-fi than horror. Yes, you specifically. Don't look behind you.
There's nothing there.
There's like 9 people that have been yawning, so I want to make sure like I'm being the you of the show today.
I'm pretty good. I'm not yawning.
I'm not yawning either.
I'm yawning.
Yes, no worries. We see your posts. You're up early working out, getting buff and shit for summer. Sun's out, guns out. Let's go.
Are we still doing April or not? You guys, are we still doing April?
You and I could do it, but we'll talk about it afterwards.
You got it.
I don't know if the two who did it want to go again. Anyway, one was like a hardcore yes, and the other one was like pissy ass bitch.
It's like you hear the voices in my head.
Okay, so yes, my final words are on this is it's more sci-fi than it is horror. So Senor Ash, you better watch.
What are we saying? We talked about 4 different things. What are we talking about?
We're talking about Firestarter.
Firestarter.
It's on Peacock.
I think I can handle.
Okay, you can.
Hey, but realize at 10 o'clock when I'm like, hey guys, so and you guys just leave me on my own, all fucking stupid, and then I'm all scene by, and I'm all.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna jump in and say, I am not watching, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So when you're saying like names of characters, you're like, oh, Greg's a fucking dick. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not watching the show. I can't talk to you about it. So I'm supposed to know who the fuck Greg is? I'm gonna go Greg sucking a dick to my friend.
Whole ass conversation and tangents about it.
But he like literally doesn't like, he's like, oh, I'm talking about fucking Serenity or whatever the fuck bullshit I'm watching. I'm talking about Succession right now. Fucking Tom is such a dick. Greg's just fucking like, I'm like, hey, I'm not watching. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I'm not gonna involve myself.
All right, truthfully, we'll get into the show. But when I said the fucking blank, did you guys know what I was talking about?
I figured it took me a minute, but I figured it out.
Right, the fucking blank, and I was like, oh, we'll get into it. But yeah.
Okay, so
I will do the Firestarter. But if I fucking keep you guys awake till midnight,
it's not scary. It's sci-fi.
I don't think you won't.
Not sci-fi like that kind of sci-fi.
You definitely won't keep me up because I've muted our conversations.
Yeah, you mute our conversation, but at 5 o'clock in the morning, fucking Bible long fucking you.
Because I'm responding to everything. Because otherwise, I'm like falling asleep.
Everything.
My phone wakes me up. My phone is on my nightstand.
We see videos of him curling at the fucking gym.
Then my girlfriend's like, "Who the fuck's blowing you up?" I'm like, "It's probably."
I'm trying to dream about Salma Hayek and it's fucking blip 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 blip. That went fucking real south.
All right, it did.
By the way, since you mentioned Salma Hayek and Sofia Vergara are 2 really good follows. So if you're not following and you go to their recent posts, you'll see what I mean, and you'll be like, "Hell yeah, ladies! I don't care." Your age.
Oh yeah, ladies.
You know, she's eating tacos. It's like, just eat tacos. I was like, oh, absolutely.
Just go. Just a word of advice if you're not following.
Just go follow.
Okay, to wrap the show up, I haven't been watching, so I'm going to give it up to the crew to take over this. It was Boba Fett's finale, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whoever wants to go and say their piece, by all means, except for Sevan, since he's been jumping all over it, I appreciate you, but I want somebody else to go first. So, Ash, Luis, Carmen, any of you three go first?
I haven't seen the finale, so I'll give it to you guys.
Go fuck yourself then. Carmen, Luis, Ash. I
For
meant it with
Luis.
love.
It was everything, because it was there's a lot of people that didn't like that they snuck in the Mandalorian within this season, but I really liked it. I thought for myself, either they didn't have enough Boba Fett story, or even in the Mandalorian, we saw the relationship between, help me, Ming-Na Wen, I don't know her fucking character name, and Boba Fett, but they had like what, 2 episodes, right? So like nobody had a problem with that, but then people had a problem with, I guess we didn't have to wait for the Mandalorian, but it's been amazing that we have this storyline. This is what Boba Fett went through. We came from here, is now helping Mandalorian. We should not be shocked by, this is Boba Fett, this is where the Mandalorian was, and we brought him up, and this is how they came together. We fucking got the dark saber. We fucking got I don't want to use the word banished, but he was banished from there. I don't want to use the word banished because I don't know what the fucking because even when he said you still believe in their way, and he's like, yes, he's like, good, but he was saying good in the way that it helped Boba Fett, not good that you're I'm just everywhere with it because it was so fucking good. And it's so, I'm coming at this as a general public person and saying, like, I loved it because I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know all the things that, like, all the things that they're not telling us. I don't know. From the books, from the whatever, I honestly don't know. But it was to tell this fucking story, and it was amazing. They got me to care. I mean, it was Boba Fett looking up at, I'm just going to call him Black Chewie from now on, because I until I remember his name.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Thank you. Chrysanthemum. It was
Exactly.
Boba Fett looking up at Chrysanthemum and looking up, and like it went from that to when he was getting shot and fucking growling and fighting for Boba Fett. Like, we started off at them being fucking whatever. And then it was Boba Fett had this one talk, like, I was a bounty hunter. Nobody cares about you. This is what I'll do. Like, had that whole little conversation that won him over to the point where this motherfucker is taking on 5 people. And it left off at that. And then he's walking through and doing that whole fucking, the sidekick fucking win you over thing. And then to the point when he's doing everything he can and getting shot, like, fuck, I was yelling at my TV, no. And this is a guy that I thought I'm going to be rooting for Boba Fett against. But they're doing everything. I don't want to say they're doing everything right, because I don't know what I'm missing. If they, because it's probably,
I think you're too caught up with, like, there was stuff beforehand, but none of that stuff beforehand counts anymore. So when you're like, you don't know what I'm missing,
that's the
it's
stuff
like,
that's, when somebody sees it, that's the guy that's fucking General Grievous. I have no idea who that guy has 8 lightsabers, and I'm fucking down. You know what I mean? Like,
so it's like
6 lightsabers.
So I haven't seen Boba Fett yet. I've been busy doing my recommendation shit. I only have certain time to watch certain shit. But I have heard you say that a couple times where you think you're missing something, and when you see it, it's like, oh shit, like, who's this character? There must be something more to it. It's like, from this point on going forward, none of that shit matters unless they tell you it matters. So if you get a character that you don't know about, you could go back and watch certain shit that certain people know, but there's other stuff that's completely different that doesn't fucking matter anymore, that going forward doesn't count. It's legacy shit that is not part of our current universe. So it's like,
But if I see that guy
yes.
in Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm gonna be like, that's where he
So-
came from. There's other,
So if you know Clone Wars, then good. That seems like most of the stuff in Clone Wars is like carrying over. So that's fine. So any like shit that we've seen in like books, they've already said everything that we've seen in the books before Disney actually took over Star Wars. All that shit is just legacy shit that doesn't count. That is like, hey, it happened there. I hope you enjoy it, but this is not carrying over into our story. So that's not canon.
really good bad guy though.
Yes. So yes, there could be like characters that are going to be brought over, and they're going to tell you like, this is what going forward. This character is canon, but the story that went to it beforehand isn't. So as much as the next person going forward who read that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you understand, like,
I know what you mean.
That read that book, that's like, that's not what happened, or he doesn't die like that, or whatever.
Yeah. But you can just like very easily, very clearly say like that shit doesn't matter now just because they decided to bring this character back. Whatever they went through right now, that's canon. Whatever they did beforehand doesn't mean shit.
Okay.
So enjoy it. From all of us, it seemed like you really enjoyed this Boba Fett a lot, and you're like waiting for shoes to drop, which I don't think you need to be. I have not seen the series, and you're just like, oh, who's this fucking character? Like, do I like him? Do I not?
Major part that I was kind of like, ugh. But other than that, like, I'm all in. Like, I'm more in than I was for, like, say, the Return of the Jedi Awakens, whatever the fuck it's like. And they have every week it's an hour of a story, and they don't have the ability to do that in a they you know what I mean? And even if they did, it's the director's cut, it's the studio cut, it's the everything they want to tell. Sometimes they can't tell that story.
Like, so your exuberance in our group chat is what's making me want to see this more. That I love Boba Fett, and I would have watched it other ways. I just waiting for a perfect time for us to get into it. But you were actually driving the conversation of this show in our chats, so that made me like really want to get into it. So that obviously there's going to be bits and pieces that we don't like certain things, or they could have done better in our eyes. So the fact that you actually enjoyed it a lot is making me want to really get into it. So
even the fucking mods that people didn't like, I was like, no,
that's one thing.
So good in that if you could bring, let's just say fucking the world, the cholos meet the fucking mods that meet the fucking blah 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 that meet the whatever, like it's made up of all of us. So these guys just want drugs to be able to go through. I'm trying to bring it to fucking regular Earth, like just it's
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, and the excitement is there.
And because when they were, one last second, when they were working together, it is a mod street person working with, the Freetown. Right. The worst fucking name I've ever heard. But
bro, come on.
That's what made everybody work together. Like, you're the best of Freetown. I am the best of fucking the mods. Like, that's what made it fucking work.
So I didn't like the mods. Okay. I was not a big fan. I got very 90s Power Ranger feel from them.
Fuck those Power Ranger fucks.
That's what I got from them. Okay.
Was you the Power Ranger fanboy on the show?
Yeah.
He is, yeah. And I will say that the Book of Boba Fett was a great series. I really liked it. But everyone is getting hung up and I'm saying this with the utmost respect to Star Wars fans, is getting hung up over the Mandalorian being in it. Okay. This is the one thing that a lot of people forget, is that they had already stated he was going to show up in the Book of Boba Fett. Okay. This just shows that how much we loved the Mandalorian. That's all it did. It just solidified that, number one. Number two, okay, these Star Wars fanboys, like hardcore fanboys, are throwing so much hate at the character designs for some of these characters, especially for Cad Bane. And a lot of people don't realize that they're saying, well, his skin tone wasn't blue enough, his hat wasn't big enough, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you guys need to understand, you're comparing them to the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars was an adaptation of the movies. So you're telling me that you're okay with the way Emperor Palpatine looked or Senator Palpatine looked in the Clone Wars, but didn't give a shit on what he looked like in the movies? Because what, the movies came first before the cartoon series? The same thing for Count Dooku. Count Dooku in the Clone Wars had this real elongated face. Christopher Lee does not look like that. So you're comparing apples to oranges at that point, okay? So I'm seeing a lot of that. And I think that's the thing that kind of really pisses me off, because especially for the person that doesn't know Star Wars, like Ash, I know you don't know a lot of the things going on in Star Wars.
I know the movie verse. I don't know.
Right, exactly. You know, and this is the best thing, is like Andres said, you don't know, they introduced Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. You don't know who Cad Bane is? Go watch the Clone Wars. You know, I guarantee you, in the next couple months, there's going to be a section in the Star Wars page where it says Cad Bane important episodes, just like they did with Ahsoka. If you look, it says important Ahsoka episodes. You can watch all the episodes that pertain to Ahsoka to get you ready to understand who Ahsoka is. You know, so I give the overall series an 8. You know, for the Book of Boba Fett, I give it an 8. There's a lot of things that are in there, and there's some things for those, again, that know, if you know, you know, a lot of the old Star Wars history, where they kind of drop little Easter eggs here and there and stuff like that, especially with the Rancor that shows up in there and stuff. Yes, you know, so there's a lot of stuff in there, you know. So the person, for the initiated, as Bane would say, for the initiated, we know certain things, all the way to the holiday special that came out years ago, you know. So we know certain things, you know. We know things that are in the books. I guarantee you, another one of the army that knows Star Wars is Zach.
Yes.
I guarantee you, and the one book that he has recommended, and I have not read, and that's my bad, is Kenobi, the book Kenobi. Read the book Kenobi. You know, and I guarantee you, he's going to be the first one that when Kenobi drops, he's going to be kind of comparing it to the book, but knowing that it's legends. If something shows up from the book in the Kenobi series, I'm sure he's going to go nuts about it, you know. But with that being said, is there going to be a Book of Boba Fett season 2? I don't know. You know, that they presented it as a limited series, just like they're presenting Kenobi. Kenobi's supposed to be a limited series. So
if you're gonna get what you've already seen, why are we watching? Because
I guarantee you, a lot of people didn't read the books, you know, don't follow the lore, you know.
Right. No, okay, so some of us, let's say I follow wrestling. Hey, Brock Lesnar's going to win. Brock Lesnar's going to win. When he loses, everybody shits on it. But when he wins, it's predictable. Sometimes I'm going to change it because that's what you know, or I'm going to make it be exactly what you already know. Do you know what I mean? Right. So I know that, you know what I mean.
But I think that's the part that's super exciting, is for the ones that know, you know, and the ones that don't know, you know, because I'll be the first one. I didn't watch Clone Wars all the way through. I didn't watch any. I watched a couple episodes of Clone Wars, and that was it. But I didn't get into it you know,
I got way
fully
more into
the
Rebel-
the 7 episodes, you know.
Not Rebel Alliance. What is it?
Rebels.
I got
Yeah.
way more into Rebels. That was way more my shit. The smart guy, the fucking
Right.
It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Star Wars.
Right.
You gave me somebody to click with, and it wasn't story, and Republic and blah blah blah. I couldn't get into it,
Right.
but you gave me, I'm gonna wreck it. You know, you gave me the one guy and then the leader, and you gave me just that formula.
Right.
And I was
no, of course. I understand that. And that's the thing, is that, you know, for the people that know the legends and see it show up, or even the ones that don't know the legends but have followed fucking Clone Wars, and then they see shit like that, I guarantee you, like, the minute that everyone saw Cad Bane on the screen, everyone lost their fucking mind, you know. But what I'm getting to is,
that was a great introduction though, huh?
Yeah, it was fucking fantastic.
And then he was like,
fucking fantastic.
Side. Like that was like, he knew what was going on, and that little guy that was like the little I want to prove myself guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's the thing.
Great fucking scene.
For everyone that's nitpicking about it, I think that's the one thing that like takes away from the fandom are the gatekeepers and the nitpicking and that's not what he should look like, and that's not how he would act, and blah blah blah, this and that, you know. That's the one thing that really gets under my skin. It's like, why can't you just let people like what they like and go on from there?
Yeah.
Carmen, you have the last word. Have you seen this episode yet?
Have.
Before it came out.
Yes. But so overall for the show, I like the show. I believe, for me, for my opinion, and I know this is something that Esteban was talking about, the last few episodes felt more like a prequel to Mandalorian season 3 that's coming up. It didn't really feel like finishing the story of Boba Fett. That's where I have a problem with the show being called the Book of Boba Fett. I don't have a problem with the Mandalorian showing up at all. I don't have a problem on the episodes focusing on the Mandalorian, but I just didn't feel like this finale gave like a good closing story to the Book of Boba Fett, the show. That we kind of left it as like, okay, so open chapter of what's going to happen, which is fine with me. But again, it just didn't seem like we had a full episode back to just focusing on Boba Fett. And even in this episode, like, to be quite honest, I didn't appreciate the fact that Fennec Shan was the one that killed the leaders with the Pike leaders, or even like not the Chancellor, but the slug. Oh fuck, I forgot his name. But yeah, but I just did like, if this show is about Boba Fett, why did we give this to Fennec Shan? And I understand that she's supposed to be like a great bounty hunter, which she is, and I don't want to take away from that either, but I felt that it would have been better if it was Boba Fett that took them out. So that's a problem that I had with it.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Because for the first kind of 2 episodes, she saw him as weak for even accepting them. So the fact that she was the one that did do it, was kind of like the little, you know, the real Rudy, like the win you over moment, because she was more the one, hey bro, like fuck these people, like we just got to do it. The kind of the fact that she was the one to save it, maybe it was just for the story, because Boba Fett would have tried to save everybody with this Boba Fett, but this Boba Fett wasn't Star Wars Boba Fett, like kill him, fuck that motherfucker. Like, this is whatever storyline, the story arc, the Rocky 5 story arc they're trying to fucking provide. I feel like that was the little win over, like, oh, manners, nice. Like, that was her little, like, okay, like, you kind of have me for life. Just kind of like the way the way Boba Fett won her over was like mercy and not killing everybody in the fucking room. Like, oh well, where are you going? I'll go. Like it was kind of the little it's just like the abuse thing. I'm so used to being abused that like, okay, well, you didn't abuse me. You have my loyalty, but I'm not there. You don't have everything, but you have everything. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. And I understand what you're saying as far as like the arc that they're trying to build with. No, you're good. But as far as the arc that they were trying to build with Boba Fett, right? That like even Craven, he tells them like, you're just a killer, like you're not gonna change. All you know is, like you're a killer. And so I get that they were trying to get away from that, but at least for him like to show up and kill one of them, if not all of them, like, you know what I mean? Like just kind of be present. It would have worked better for me.
Would have been a stronger storyline for him, the journey for him to be better, rather than like almost like The Professional, kill, and then like the one person I didn't like just get there through the episodes. Do you get what I mean? Like becoming a better person.
The part of the storyline that doesn't work for me as far as his arc story, right? Because they presented the whole he becoming part of a family because he didn't really have a family. Like, he was cloned, or he was part of the clone program. So in Camino, so we give him a family, and we're trying to say like he's not that killer that he used to be as a bounty hunter, like not just careless. But again, like he's defending the city of Mos Espa, right? And like he's trying to protect the people, and he's trying to protect what is his family and extension, because they're the people of the planet. So in a sense, just for me, that part didn't work. I understand the arc that they were trying to go for, as in like shy away from him just being a killer just to kill. But I don't think that would have been presented if he would have shown up and with Fennec Shand to kill some of those leaders. And it's like, it just would have done more justice for me. The whole him showing up with the Rancor, I like that. I thought that was pretty cool. That was badass. And also Grogu's interaction with a Rancor was awesome.
I could have dealt with another 10 minutes of them bonding, him and the Rancor, just so that it wasn't like, I'm gonna be here and then story. Like just a little bit more like won him over. And it was so good because it was the Danny Trejo scene. When he walked away, Danny Trejo, it was all in the same scene. Don't worry, he'll be right back. Like that was your you won him over. Just 10 more minutes. Even if fucking Rocky montage would have been a good little like moment.
More interaction between them would have been great. You're right on that. Yeah.
But it was good because he came out of nowhere. That was the one little, I didn't see that coming. Like I didn't know when he left.
I know. When he left, I did not know what we were.
I thought he was going to bring Tusken Raiders. I thought he was going to bring,
like a group of them.
You don't have any more friends, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." Didn't say anything. It was so good. And I feel like too the Mandalorian thing, part of it. I know, it's always you. The Mandalorian part kept us distracted so much so that like I'm wearing them. It's like there was so much, and then the fucking Black Chewie, everything was so much of we didn't know. They're just giving us everything. But again, as I say, I'm the general public, and they're giving me everything I've ever wanted that I didn't know that I wanted. And it's not me going.
The whole episode, those were the things that just like. Yeah. And they didn't bother me when I first watched the episode. It's like through the day as I'm thinking about it, and then I was like, it just pops in your head, and those are just my thoughts.
It was such a big deal that it was 5 minutes of Luke, and then it's a whole episode of Luke that was CGI that like nobody's even talking about anymore because weird. You know what I mean? It was 5 minutes that everybody splooged, but it's like a whole episode of Luke and like nine Book of Boba Fett. Like, are you serious? It's like Mark Hamill for a fucking hour and nobody's talking about it at all. Super weird.
I think because he had already done the cameos before, so it's not a big shock that he's showing up now. You know what I mean?
That sucks though. It's 5 minutes of him and it's a whole hour of him, and it's like, oh, I've seen it. That's not cool.
I will say though, I will say though that that episode gave The Last Jedi clout. It really did. It really did. You know, it gave that episode with Luke, it gave The Last Jedi clout so much. And I think it turned a lot of haters that didn't like The Last Jedi into liking The Last Jedi, because now you see that this Luke is that Luke from The Last Jedi.
You know what else is he though?
Exactly.
That he has the fucking metal chain, but that doesn't mean anything because he went to go save his friend, which is fucking what he fucking did to go save his fucking friends. Fucking
at Empire, I mean? Like, yeah, so for Empire.
No, yeah, the one guy to be like, oh, go save him, homie, go do your shit, like
right. And yeah, but now, Carmen,
I just like that the ending scene, right? We get it's Luke presenting him with the Yoda's lightsaber and the chain link shirt, and then like. In the beginning of this episode, like we just see him show up, and so I like that we didn't see the process of Grogu choosing, because it still leaves it up in the air. Like we don't know what happened, although he is showing up for Mando, right? Because he's looking. And then on top of that,
he showed up with R2, which means he's probably going to go back. But like, and it's fucking. It's the Mandalorian with a lightsaber, and it's fucking him, Grogu with the Mandalorian armor. So it's almost like, why can't it just be like, use what you can to stay alive, to be whatever, like, you know, like just it doesn't have to be by the book. It can be
right, but you need to understand that Luke is still blinded by
the light,
the way of the Jedi, you know, and for him, he honestly feels that following Yoda's teachings is the right thing to do, to be a Jedi with no attachments,
right? You know, which is
that
the guy that he left,
right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying too, is that because of that, you see this Luke acting like this, and you know, zero attachments, and then you see the Luke in The Last Jedi. I guarantee you, watch that episode, then watch The Last Jedi again. I guarantee you it's going to open up your eyes to how the reason why Luke is the way he is in The Last Jedi.
He's not going to kill Baby Yoda or Grogu.
You mean Kylo Ren? Sorry, not Kyle. In the temple?
From what I remember, he woke up and it's Luke killing everybody. Did I miss that?
Yeah, you totally missed it, dude, because it was not Luke.
See? You see?
You see?
You see?
I was like, wait.
If Kylo Ren killed fucking baby Grogu, then we're gonna no.
Bro, you're like 10 weeks behind right now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's canon. So fill in the fucking blank for me.
Just watch The Last Jedi again.
I'm like, in The Last Jedi, yeah. Kylo Ren.
I saw it. They even used the same little fucking piece.
No, you didn't see it because you thought Luke was the one that did it.
They show when he wakes up and it's Luke.
That was just to Kylo Ren because he had a moment of doubt. But he didn't strike him. He turned it on like he had that second.
And then
but
Kylo
he woke up at that moment. And then he was like, wait. Yeah.
I will watch again.
And we are motherfucking done, finally. I want to thank each and every one of you for shut up, Ash. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning into this episode. It means the world to us. And until next time, this has been Comics.
We are everywhere.
Thank you, sir, for paying attention. Good night or good day. good afternoon, good evening,
Morning.
good morning. Adios.